Lottie goes out for a meal with her friend. The meal costs £28 and she pays 65% of this. How much did Lottie pay? Well, again, this is just 65% of 28. And the first step is always, as always, we just turn our percentage into a decimal. So 65% equals 65. The word per, divide, cent, 100. And we do 65, and then we move our decimal point twice. So 1, 2, turns it to there. So you've got 0.65. Now we turned our percentage into a decimal, 0.65. We need to times it by 28, because the word of means times, and then just 28. And again, we just treat this as like 65, and then times that by 28, so we need a multiplication grid. Put our times in, 65, 28. We've got, move up a little bit, we've got 2 times 6. So 2 times 6 is 12, and we've got 2 zeros to add. We've got 2 times 5 is 10, with an extra 0. We've got 6 times 8, and 6 times 8 is 48, and add a 0. And don't worry if you're not too sure on that one. You can always write out your 8 times table or 6 times table and practice. And then we've got 8 times 5, and 8 times 5 is 40. We then need to add up all our numbers. So we've got 1,200, we've got 100 there, we've got 480, and a 40, put our equal sign. Our first one is just full of zeros, so we don't need to worry too much about that. Just put a 0 at the bottom. We've got 8 plus 4 is 12, so 1 and 2. That's 12 written diagonally. We've got 2 plus 1 is 3, plus our 4 is 7, plus our extra 1 is 8. And then lastly, we've got the 1 on its own. So we've got 1,820, but then we need to move our decimal point twice. We've got to put little arrows in there. So we're going to do the same here, 1, 2. So the decimal point is now in the middle. So how much did she spend? Well, she spent £18.20. I think she ended up paying a bit too much there. So have a little look at that and move that down. You can have a little look, have a little read through. So as always, we turn our percentage into a decimal. So for all percentage problems, we just turn it into decimal first. And then we have 0.65 times 28. We work out 65 times 28, but then we need to move our decimal point twice. So once we've added it all together, we move our decimal point twice, we get 18.2 or 18.20. And with any type of currency, it's always 2 decimal places. So even if you don't have, even if you worked out, say 18.2, we'd put a 0 on at the end, because you always have 2 digits or 2 decimal places with currency.